Now, if all goes according to plan, then Kenyans will on Tuesday get the full list of government officials implicated in graft. Well, on social media, that anticipated list has already been dubbed the list of shame. But apart from shame, what will those named be up against? Well, President Uhuru Kenyatta has already asked that they step down, but further to his request, what more can be done? That's the question. And so let us take a look at the scenarios and, of course, how this leaders, the cabinet secretary, senators or governors who are involved in graft may be removed from office. Let us begin the presentation, of course, by taking a look at the executive. And of course, that includes the CS, the cabinet secretary, and the principal secretary. And of course, the first option is that they resign. Well, for the members of the executive, we're talking about any cabinet secretary or principal secretary on the list. Their removal from office could happen in one of the four ways. Well, the first one, the CSs and PSs who find themselves on the list may simply choose to resign by delivering a written statement of resignation to the president. Well, secondly, as you can see, they can get dismissed. Under the Constitution, the president also has the power to dismiss a PS or a CS. However, Parliament may also force a CS out of office by passing a motion requiring the president to dismiss a cabinet secretary if the resolution is supported by a majority of the members. Well, then the president under the law is obliged to dismiss the cabinet secretary. Let us move on to our next presentation there. And of course, it has to do with the governors, the removal of governors. The first option is still to resign. But what about those suspects in elected positions? Well, this is where the law becomes a little less straightforward. Well, let's begin with governors. Well, Kenyan legislation provides limited options for the removal of governors from office, and the options that exist are rather grueling. Well, the first is through impeachment. Well, the members of the county assembly must be willing to file a motion for impeachment, which must be debated by the county assembly members before it can be adopted and taken to the Senate. Well, the Senate looks into this particular matter, and if the motion is supported by a simple majority of the Senate, the governor is removed from office. However, recent history shows us that the matter can be escalated to judicial arm of government, which, as in the case of Embu, Governor Martin Wambora, results in the reinstatement of the governor by the courts in spite of the legislative process. Well, the only other option for the removal of a governor from office would be the successful prosecution and sentencing of the said governor. Well, here's the catch though. The sentence must be 12 months or more. This means that a prosecutor body such as the Police or Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission must find enough evidence against the governor to have them prosecuted and sentenced for more than a year. Any less, and the governor may still hold his or her office. All right, let's move on to another scenario here. What about, the senators? And of course, the first option there is to resign. And short of resigning, then not much else can force a senator or MP to step down. Well, the recall clause under the Election Act would be the only saving grace, and it is no walk in the park. Well, MPs and senators can only be recalled if they have been judged by the High Court for very specific reasons after a conviction of the court. Then a voter in the constituency or county of the said MP or senator may file a petition through the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Well, this is where the work comes in. Well, the petition must be signed by at least 30% of the registered voters in the constituency or the county of the senator or MP in question in order for them to be recalled. Well, those are the different scenarios, but of course we wait to see how this particular story will pan out.